Developing now, attorneys in the Markeith Loyd case had their last hearing in court today before the jury comes back for the penalty phase.
He was convicted of killing Orlando Police Lieutenant Deborah Clayton earlier this month and will soon find out if he will be getting the death penalty. News 6's Nadine Yance was the only reporter inside the courtroom for this hearing, and Nadine, a lot was covered today.
Absolutely. I mean, the judge herself said in a hearing 3 weeks ago that she had just dropped a bomb on the state's argument, saying that she is going to allow how Markeith Loyd lost his eye and officers' use of force into this sentencing phase. So the defense and the state are scrambling, the state filing 8 motions ahead of the penalty phase. And one of those, they wanted to actually question the jurors more on their thoughts on use of force. In their last hearing before the sentencing phase begins in the Markeith Loyd death penalty case, attorneys from both the state and defense argued just how much of the officer's use of force and how Loyd lost his eye will be brought up to the jury. Here's Loyd's defense attorney, Terry Lenneman. For viewers who say, how does the use of force have anything to do with the murder of Lieutenant Clayton?
The use of force has to do with the result of the injury to his eye and basically his suffering as a result of their actions. It's almost like they partially punished him already, and they did this intentionally.
But the state filed several motions in response, including wanting to question jurors more on their thoughts on use of force, which they've previously said they didn't get to do during jury selection because they didn't think the judge was going to allow this.
We would have asked. I can tell you, hand to God, I would have asked these jurors what they think about a use of force.
This is just a way that they're trying to backdoor and strike some jurors in a way that has never really been done before.
Lenneman citing an interaction the state had with a particular juror during jury selection.
That juror, who is an African American who is now seated on the jury, said that he believes there are some times when minorities are treated differently and the use of force is not appropriate. And the state allowed that juror to stay on the jury. So for them to come now and say something differently is just doesn't make any sense, other than they want to try to eliminate jurors that have the possibility of finding life.
And it just takes one. A jury has to be unanimous in the death penalty. And it seemed like the judge agreed with defense's Terry Lenneman there. The motion, the order from the judge just came down within the last hour. The judge denying the state's motion to further question these jurors. Another big motion, the state didn't want the defense to bring up the fact that Loyd was arrested in Lieutenant Clayton's handcuffs. They didn't want the defense to bring up that his resisting charge was ultimately dropped. The judge granting that motion, so that will not come up in penalty phase. Guys, this is the last hearing. Penalty phase begins the Monday after Thanksgiving on November 29th. Back to you.
Nadine, thank you.